All right, everybody. Thank you for jumping on with us for our Training Day podcast. Mike Hamade back in the building. Very quick turnaround, which means he's absolutely crushing it. SVP now, 3 months in, 342 families this month of August, and it is just gaining momentum. The guy, year to date, has helped 740 families and just started writing in March. So clearly, Mike, something is in the water over in Detroit, and it's an honor to have you on the podcast, man. How you doing?
Thank you, brother. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm doing great, bro. Man, a lot of good things, man. A lot of good things cooking. You know, are you comprehending what's happening right now?
Feels normal. I'm not gonna lie. I wake up and I just look at things like, man, we gotta do better. We gotta do better. We gotta do better.
I love it.
But I try not to call my team like a narcissist.
Right.
That's just
Good.
my brain is moving every time.
Dude, 342 families since May. And, you know, your team was non-existent. So you're talking May, June, like 4 months. You're at
342 this month.
Yeah, last month. That's nuts. So do you know what your trajectory is to help 1,000 families in a month?
It's coming. I'm trying to, but the thing about like with business, you got to move at a very, very, very fast speed, but you got to be calculative, you know? So we're trying, I want to do 1,000 families a month as of yesterday. And the only way to get there, I don't believe in the mass recruiting module, you know, because quality over quantity all day. You know, we've done this with such a small team, but they're here, they show up, they make this their priority, sun up to sundown, you know? And I pull those line of credits, I make those investments, I don't think twice. For us to help 1,000 families a month, I got some tech in the works, you know, what I talked to you about a couple months ago, that's done. We're running beta in here. But now I have something being built out to where when a agent is on the phone with a client, I see it pop up on my radar on the web app, and I could listen to the call live. I can mute the agent, take over the call. So we really run like a team over here, and everybody eats. Nobody takes from anybody else's plate, and it's pretty dope. You know, once we have that running, and more funnels dropped on the budget, I know we could get to 1,000 families a month for sure this year.
I love it, man. There's a lot of things you have to share with us. 740 families, personal production through 6 months, which is nuts. Now, that's first off, that's two things. That's a lot of volume, a lot of families helped. But it's also a system. Like it's consistency and it's a system. Systems create consistency. So you are operating off of a system that is creating an insane amount of consistency. Walk us through some things that are continuously, consistently working for you. And then I want to get into some of the duplication because your team is starting to do some of this too. But what is it working for you? How are you approaching the day-to-day, and what kind of things are you using to roll?
Glad you asked. It starts with the little things. So little as I won't work off a laptop. The inefficiencies of such a small keyboard and dragging your hand on a touchpad and not having multiple screens, your 10-hour shift, you could have made it 40 hours of work if you have the right systems, equipment. So always mandatory 2 screens, if not 3, with the wireless keyboard, wireless mouse, and then a headset that connects to the computer. My CRM, I need to be able to dial the lead from there, because another thing in a 10-hour shift, you pick up your phone, you do this every time, or you type in the text off your phone every time. Again, you're doing 40 hours of work for 3 hours of results. When if you have all the systematics that make everything efficient, you can move at a rapid speed. So I digitalize every part of the business, batch emails, the way that I set up my templates on text. I have codings in there where I don't have to type the client's name. I have my first text, second text, third text. The bot that has my pre-recorded voicemails for initial voicemail, second voicemail, third voicemail. And now, in a 10-hour shift, you can literally get a week of work done. And that's how I'm able to move this fast and ahead, because I know with my production, what I've been doing, it's humanly impossible. It really is. You need systematics for this. You need technology for this.
I love the way your mind works. And again, you are right. I mean, when you add technology, it allows you to collapse time with immense intensity, right? So you're doing a lot of that. These are very basic, simple things that you're using to help your flow. Some people are sitting in a desk and just don't see it the way you see it. Like it's not that they don't want to, they don't know how to. Like, how does it come so natural for you? Why does your brain think in collapsing time, technology, support, systems, tech?
I really wish I had an answer. It's second nature. I like being ahead. I hate sitting still. In order to get ahead, you need reinvest. That's another thing. I think that most people know that this stuff is out there, but they're too worried about price and cost, or they're too worried about taking that risk if it's going to work. So they stick to what they know. You know what I mean? I've always been a risk taker. And if I see something of value where I could systematically streamline my operation, I don't care what the cost is. I swear for the first 3 months that I was running, I sold my car. I got the wifey a really good car, and I'm like, yo, I don't need a car because I got this office now. I'll ride with one of the boys. I recruited close friends primarily, and then I expanded from there. And I would just minimize all my personal to reinvest back into the business. That's another thing people are scared to do.
When you look at your schedule and the amount of activity you're putting in, what does that look like week to week?
For me, I love it. Huh? It looks like a heart attack for anybody else, though. My schedule is 5, 6 a.m. Wake up, prayer, play with my son, chill with my wife for a little bit, get to the gym by like 7:30, 8 o'clock, go with my trainer, and then get to the office. And then I have my assistant take care of my calendar. I come in, I just look in my calendar. I immediately go to my emails, start, clean up my email box first thing in the morning, see what my agents need, because they know email me at the end of every shift with your needs. So I'll go through my list of emails, app reviews, underwriting, et cetera. And then whatever's on the schedule from there, I just run with it. And of course, during the day, things start to come up, and I'll find time to fit those in either midday or at the end of the evening. So typically I'm here by like 9:30, 10 o'clock. And as of recently, I've had the luxury of being able to leave by 9:30, 10 o'clock. But before it was, no, I'm here by 8, 9 a.m., sometimes out by 1 a.m., burnt out, repeat. But that's just the beginning sacrifice you have to make,
Why?
That's a great question. I have a lot of reasons why. But in order to impact people, in order to break cycles, in order to even have good karma to begin with, you got to be that selfish with your time and your work ethic so you can make impactful, selfless decisions. I want to break the cycle for a lot of folks. I don't want my kid to grow up the way I grew up. God bless my mother and father, but old school is old school, And I don't want my wife to have to think about working and who's going to raise her baby. At the same time, I don't want my friends sacrificing their morals and their character looking for a way out, and then it trickles down to strangers, things like that. There's charitable reasons why as well that I usually I don't even touch on, but I really I want to build a massive fortune, move overseas, be able to give back, and chill out until I die.
But these are things you dream about. These are your dreams. These are what you want to do with your life, correct?
100%. And if you want your dreams to come quicker, you got to sacrifice and go harder. If my dreams are, if you put my dreams in front of me and gave me a timeline that guaranteed me they're 20 years away, I will sacrifice my health temporarily. I'll sacrifice my time temporarily. I'll sacrifice relationships temporarily to bring that 20 down to 10. And then if I could bring it from 10 to 5, the next guy in the next room, I could take his 20 down to 10. And he could do the same for another and another and another, and a domino effect. You want to leave a legacy behind when you die. I don't know what it is, it's definitely not a matter of clout and luxury. We've all been through our materialistic phases in life. It's deeper than that. I just don't even know how to describe it. But $1 billion, there's two ways to think about it. Luxury, materialism, living a fast life, or impactful stuff that can make you sleep better at night and keep karma and the universe good with you and God happy with you. It's the stuff I look for.
That's amazing, man. I love it. I love your why. I love what keeps you centered, what keeps you rooted, what keeps you focused. Everybody's different. I love the way you tick and what's actually pumping through your veins. That's awesome, bro. And it makes sense when the bigger the why, the bigger the bigger the goal, the bigger the result, the more you find ways to win. And that's what you're doing. You're literally carving out ways to win, which is exciting just listening to you talk. But here you are now, 342 families in 4 months, charging towards 1,000 families a month fast. What are you doing from a recruiting purpose, Mike? How are you going about bringing in candidates, getting them through class, getting them to the office, and getting them selling? What does that process look like for you?
It's strictly really word of mouth. I don't mass recruit. I've even turned away a few people, but when I've turned them away, I never denied them of the opportunity. I would refer them and find them an upline that they would be good with. I won't decline them the opportunity. I'm strictly looking for young, hungry, or people that have been through adversity and are still trying to get out of their lows, mortgage bankers that know the market is not in their favor right now, and grinders that will show up. Once I recruit somebody, I put them through my portal. I have my own portal, Orbix portal. They go through the portal. We have script templates, we have links, and we have videos on each training. And they sit with my assistant. And some of my downlines, I actually moved to a salary because let's be honest, some people are just not cut out for this. They're not. A lot of people, you'll find talent in a lot of introverts, but they just have speech phobia. They're not going to perform. They could work the back end, they could work the denials, they could work the trainings. So I just found my key players and put them in the role that they need to be. So I got a good salary structure, a good system structure. When a new agent comes in, they go through the portal, they checklist that they've watched all the videos, they download the scripts, and I do a class at a time, at least 5 agents. So if I recruited John last Thursday, I'm going to tell John he's going to be able to start within 2 weeks. We'll get you licensed, etc. in the meantime. But then I'm going to get 3-4 more recruits to be in that same class. Bring them all in at the same time, have them sit in the conference room and role play with somebody else overwatching that I have on a salary. and make sure they're ready to go. And then from there, when they're ready to attack the phones, I will buy them the worst of the worst, just so they can experience it. And I tell them that you're going to struggle for the first 2 weeks, but I'm going to make sure you learn everything you need to learn within those 2 weeks, rather than 6 months to a year of you being inconsistent with your business. So give me 10 days and I'll change your life. That's really what I tell them. And if I can't have somebody coming in consistently or being full time, I'll branch them off on their own. If their money is right, and I'll show them what to do and how to do it, and I'll just collect a small override. But primarily my recruiting module is young, hungry, in the office, ready to go. I pay for everything, just work.
That's 100% of what you're looking for?
Yeah. The other, well, I'd say 95. The other portion of what I'm looking for, somebody like me, similar, or us. You know what I mean? There's people at different levels of understanding business. And if I can get somebody that's fiscally responsible and willing to invest in their business, I'll still teach them this side and let them shadow me as the business owner. And even as a producer, you know, I still have my time blocks daily where I'm on the phones attacking. And I'll set them up with the whole business infrastructure of how to fund their own leads, what to do. And they still go through me. Then at that point, I'm a provider, I'm a tech provider, and I get a small percentage on the back end. So that would also be what I'm looking for, people that want to build a business establishment just like I'm doing.
Now, how do you decipher who's who? What is a question or a series of questions you ask to figure out who's who?
It's wild. I really just want to sit face to face with you, shake your hand, and look you in the eyes as a man. And I just trust my judgment from there. Like yesterday, one of my guys brought somebody in, and immediately I texted him. I was like, "Don't recruit him. Bad move." It's just, I want to feel you out as a man. You know, if we can hold an intellectual conversation, pendulum back and forth, and the vibes are right, that's it.
Now, what if they live in Florida? What if they live in, in Houston, Texas? What if they live in Vegas?
If I don't know them or they didn't come as a referral, I'll definitely refer them to another upline.
Wow.
100%. I won't decline them the opportunity, you know? But I just know that even if they are from another state, as of right now, systematically, one thing I don't do is take on more than I can handle. I think that's why we're doing so much volume with 17, 18 writers only. And they're all new. Look at the MPNs and licenses, you know? We're doing so much volume because we have a control on the business and the systematics and everything in place. I don't think that I'm ready to recruit virtual yet because I won't be able to give them the time that they need to be successful.
Very interesting. Very interesting. I have a take on that, but I like what you're saying. I like the self-awareness. I think there is a way to look at that. I mean, systematically, but I think your constitution is saying, I feel good when I do my process.
Yes. 100%. And I know we're going to get to that point. The vision that I have is for us to be the Rocket Mortgage of life insurance. Yes, we got our hierarchies. We got our 5 leaders that are recruiting their downlines. But eventually the systems are so large, the funnels are so large, the marketing budget is so large. Let's go grab a building downtown. Now we're RVPs of our regions, and then we get another leader that was a hot producer that was performing with us, move him at a percentage and stack the other downlines under them, have them run the team, and everybody eats. And eventually you could get to W-2s and tiers.
Right.
That's the ultimate goal of what I want to build out of this, and actually why I come in here every single day and why I run the business this way. We want to be literally the rocket of life.
Mike Hamade, the mastermind, constantly working on ways to shorten the flow of business and increase production. Dude, it's fun talking to you.
It's been a while.
Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to you being in studio. in a couple weeks here, and we could talk more and kind of get more gems, more gold out of you, because you got a lot to offer.
I appreciate it. No, I'm gonna give credit where it's due. You know, even if somebody didn't directly teach me, if they help me understand their process and open up a door, you know, another great guy that's really built a phenomenal module, definitely be more raised. So give him his credit. You know what I mean? So, and I appreciate everything FFL has done for me and my family.
No doubt, he's a beast, and yeah, man. Well, the talent, the track here is for people like you to come in and just do what you're doing. Like the thing is like, you know, there's a lot of places, Mike, where you'd go and you can't move as fast. It's just you're more bound. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like in our deal,
100.
There's so much room to move. There's so much space. It's you know, it's like going from college to the NBA. The spacing on the court is so wide. It helps your offensive game. This is exactly what we're saying. There's so much space. It literally helps your offensive game. It allows guys like you to come in and be ridiculously offensive and just go to town. Can you explain? I'm saying it. I'm using an analogy. You get what I'm saying because you're actually doing what I'm saying. But can you explain it the way you would explain it?
Yeah. Oh, what's that thing it was kind of inappropriate. Remember when I used to tell you, when you walk into a place on the floor, you know what I'm saying? You got to have that killer mentality. The only way to do something fast and to execute it fast is to believe you can do it. And if you get knocked down, you learn. Big deal. Get up. Do it again. There's too much timidness. There's too much analysis paralysis. I don't believe in that. Wake up, kill it. You know, when I was younger and I used to hoop, Steph used to come out the threes. I sit there and watch how he's shooting it. All of a sudden, I'm hitting that shots. You got to just get out there with that killer mentality and do it. Stop thinking about how you're going to perfect it. You know, because if you start doing, you're still going to be moving ahead. Every time you get hit one step back, you're going to figure out how to go 5 steps forward. You got to have that killer mentality. When I step on the court and the analogy you're saying, I'm just ready to kill it. Everything and anything for me and my team.
For you and who?
My team.
Got it. Yeah, man. I mean,
you gotta have a team. And if your team looks up to you and they follow, and you actually listen to them too, I say this all the time. Billionaires, the difference between billionaires and less egotistical millionaires, billionaires will even listen to feedback from Janet. They will. I learned one thing from Dan Gilbert I'll never forget. I use this in everything that I do. We had something at Rocket Mortgage back in the days called the Cheese Factory. And he always came out with some pumpkin English. It's cool. But the Cheese Factory is where you submit an idea that you think would benefit the business, and they will actually review it. If it gets implemented, they'll take care of it. They listen to anybody and everybody that submitted ideas. Gotta have a strong team. Can't do it by yourself. But you're the strongest player on the team. Don't be all egotistical and narcissistic and degrading things. Prove them. Create 5 weapons, 5 duplicates, whatever it is, and understand everybody's strong suit. Help them become better than. We're going to kill everything on that court.
That's incredible, dude. I can't wait to get you in here, man. You know, I'm excited to shake your hand and also, you know, spend some time with you and let's strategically talk about how you can go from 1,000 families to 10,000 families. You have the capacity to do it. The mindset and the heart, you know, the heart's both ways. You're a guy of service who wants to help a lot of people. That's a huge heart. But then also the heart, like you ain't afraid. You know what I mean? Like you have courage. You know, you ain't no punk. You ain't no financial punk. So at the end of the day, you have to have some of this stuff and the ability to flex your muscles financially to go out and go get things that are going to collapse time and produce results for you and your team. So, man, it's exciting to talk to you. I'm looking forward to seeing you soon, and thank you for jumping on with me on our Tri-State Training Day podcast, brother. Orbix, FFL Orbix. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Thanks, Mike.